Hey y'all. So I wanted to get on here and talk about um, why it was so important for me to cut off communication with the father of my child. And a lot of people might ask me, like, they're just like, oh, well, I don't understand how you didn't, say something back, because I would have said something, because, like, that was real disrespectful what he did or whatever, because he did a lot. Okay, he did a lot. He was messaging my friends, he was messaging my family, he was being very, very disrespectful. He's been disrespectful to his own family members who were still talking to me. It was just a lot. And people were just like, I don't understand how you not saying anything. And people don't get that, like, I had already come to the realization that it wasn't him talking anymore. Like, whatever he was dealing with, he had spirits talking. Like, so he had spirits controlling him. And when I started to realize that, I was just like, well, I'm not about to talk to them spirits. I don't got to talk to them demons, because I don't like them. They didn't like me. That's why we always had conflict. And people didn't understand that it's no point in having a conversation or bickering with somebody who does not want to reason, or a spirit that is never going to be able to reason with you. You have to know who you're talking to. Like, that's the most important thing. You have to know who you're talking to. Once I realized who I was talking to, I was like, oh, nah, I'm good. Like, nah, I'm good on that. Like, you can have that. I'm good. But usually a lot of people, like, they seem to think that, it's something that should be addressed. Like, no, you should tell him this, you should tell him that, you should tell him that this is not good and not this and that, and you should try to rekindle things, and because for your child. And I'm just like, y'all really don't understand what spiritual battles are, do y'all? Because people seem to think that it's flesh against flesh, but in reality it's a spiritual warfare. Like, we're vessels, we're flesh. We work, either you can be controlled by the enemy or you can be led by God. And when you realize that other people choose to be controlled by the enemy, you're not about to keep on bickering with people who want to be controlled by the enemy. You can tell these things, because the people who want to be controlled by the enemy, usually they don't remember what they say. Usually they don't remember what they do. So when you're constantly trying to figure things out and try to reconcile with people who don't necessarily know what they're saying to you, they don't even know what they agree into. So, like, say for instance, you're talking to somebody who's suffering with having a spiritual warfare going on, right? You talk to them, you're trying to discuss the situation, you're trying to come up with a solution. While you're doing this, you guys come up with the solution. You find the answer. They say, hey, I'm gonna stop doing this, and you just stop doing that. And you say, okay, well, that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you're having a mature conversation with somebody who understands what you're saying and you understand what they're saying. And then you get out into the world, you go live your life, you do your own thing, and then you come back maybe a day later, maybe a week later, maybe a month later, and that person is still doing the same thing. And then you address them on it again. And you say, hey, like, didn't we discuss this earlier? Like, weren't we gonna, stop doing this so we can be better and, grow in who we really need to be as a man, as a woman? And that person comes to you and they were like, no, I never agreed to that. I never agreed that I was supposed to do that. What are you talking about? That's when it becomes a problem. That's when you know that you're dealing with the spiritual, but you're dealing with somebody who's dealing with the spiritual warfare on the inside of them. So they're having something control them, but they don't know when it's controlling them, because, of course, that spirit that's controlling them is not their friend. So it's not going to tell them when they're controlling them. So they don't have any idea what's going on in the midst of them being controlled. They can only tell what's going on after they stop being controlled, because now they're in their own body. Now they know what they're doing. Now it's their decisions. But a lot of times we like to fight people, but we don't understand that it's the spirits that we need to be attacking. So I have no interest in talking to people who are being controlled by spirits. I have no interest in it, because it's ugly. Like, it's ugly. It's not something that's healthy for your mind, for your body, for your soul. Like, it's just unhealthy, and it starts to really eat away at your mind, eat away at your flesh. Like, you start to get darker. Your skin might get darker, or like, but it wouldn't be a dark that's beautiful. It'll be like a dark, like, you can see your light becoming dark. Like, that's what I mean. You can see from a spiritual standpoint that person is getting dark. It's more than just the skin. I'm talking about that person, that whole energy of that person is dark now. And you're like, oh my God, what happened to them? They used to be so light. They used to be so happy. They used to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't perfect, but they used to be so vibrant. And now they're just angry all the time and irritated, and they don't know how to function around other people. And I have no interest in arguing with people like that. So that's how I was able to continue my communication to be cut off, because I don't have time for things like that. Now, of course, I'm the type of person, if you ain't done no wrong to me, I don't have no reason to cut you off. Like, when you do me wrong, or if I see you doing me wrong, or even if I see you trying to have conversations with other people that are trying to do me wrong, I'm cutting you off too. I don't mind cutting anybody off. I don't care if you're my right arm. I will cut you off. I don't play that, because if it has something to do with like affecting my heart and my mind and my peace, I don't want it. It's not worth it to me. But I don't know. How do y'all feel about stuff like that?